What is up, tube users? I'm the Stereotypical Gamer, and welcome back to another episode of Z to A. Today, we are diving into Team Fortress 2. I've actually never played Team Fortress 2, but I have it installed because it was a requirement for some shaders in Gary's mod back in the day. Like, if you wanted to play majority of levels in Gary's mod, you had to have Counter-Strike Source and TF2 installed. So, and this, it was a free game, so it was like, yeah, why not? But I never touched it, never actually played it. I've heard good things about it. It has really great reviews and stuff, and from what I've been told, it is kind of akin to an early Overwatch almost, like kind of that team hero shooter, but it definitely is more basic than Overwatch is in terms of the uniqueness of characters and stuff like that. But overall, I did find the mechanics of the game fun. There were some things that were just plain confusing to me, and it's probably me just being a complete noob at the game, but overall it was an enjoyable experience. But while the gameplay was fun and I really enjoyed playing the game, I didn't really feel like an overarching goal in the games themselves. Like, I played 2 rounds and each lasted about 30 minutes, and the whole time I really didn't know what I was supposed to be doing, if we were supposed to be doing anything, or how this game was going to end. Like, I got that one of the games was like a capture the flag kind of thing, but the map and the bases where the flags or intel, I guess is what it's called, it's so heavily fortified, and just the respawns for the enemy team are right next to where the intel that you need to capture is, so there's like really no time to like try and get it and get back to your base, because you're just going to get swarmed by enemies that have really secured the inside of their base. So it just and with no timer, it just felt like that game would have gone on forever, and I don't see how you can complete a full game in this game. And because of that, it made the game feel more like a sandbox shooter rather than a hero-based team competitive shooter, which is what I was thinking was going to be. And so I kind of just, once I realized that the objectives were just basically unobtainable for either side, I just kind of went into like a death match, tried out all the different heroes, and I really gravitated towards the sniper. I liked that the most. It was the most satisfying to kill, and it kind of felt similar to me just because the mechanics of the sniper are kind of similar to Widowmaker, so I understood it more than other things. I also did like playing the soldier because it felt like you were playing Quake with the rocket jumps you can do and stuff like that, and I really loved the movement of some of those fast heroes, but for the most part I stuck with the sniper in the couple games that I played. So yeah, let's get into what I did like about it. And it was a typical Valve shooter, which I really enjoyed. I've played a lot of Valve games, and they kind of all have a similar kind of movement and gun mechanic style to them. So I've played a lot of Half-Life, played a lot of Counter-Strike, so I know the movement and the shooting mechanics of a Valve game. So I kind of knew how to play going into it, even though I've never played. It's just a matter of understanding the weapons, and once I got that down, it was pretty easy, and overall it was really enjoyable. I would say that, like, overall the gameplay was really fun. I just really wish the objectives were more obtainable and the games were just quick. Like, just put a time limit on these things, and if we don't get the objectives done in that time, it's a draw or something, because I really didn't feel any sort of progression through this game. And I noticed a lot of other people had like different weapons on heroes, and I don't think there's different heroes that you can unlock like Overwatch, but I believe that there's different weapons you can get for heroes from what I saw. And I didn't really understand how you could do that, and I would assume it's progressing by playing the game somehow, but you really can't play the game if the rounds don't end and you don't get any points for leaving the game, you know? So it really just felt like an endless loop of just playing the game because it's a fun game to play. Maybe it's the thing with this game mode. I just went into the casual playlist and selected all for all the different types of game modes, and there's a lot of different ones. So maybe there's other ones that are a little bit more fast paced and actually have objectives that are obtainable in the game. But yeah, it just was a real shame that there wasn't progression because overall the gameplay elements of this game are really fun. If you enjoy a Valve shooter, if you enjoy Half-Life, if you enjoy Counter-Strike, I really think that this is an enjoyable game. And even to an extent Overwatch, if you enjoy Overwatch, I can see this game being enjoyable, but just having no objective outside the game, no progression for your own character, and having really no obtainable objective in the game just really turned me off of playing this game more. But if I go into this game thinking of it as more of a sandbox shooter and just go in for it for the fun of the game mechanics overall and not for any sort of overarching goals in the game, then I can enjoy it. And this first round, yeah, it wasn't enjoyable because I was expecting something else. But if I'm going into it expecting that from now on, I can see it being enjoyable, but I can't see myself playing it that often because of that. And then the one other thing, and it's kind of typical of Valve shooters, but CSGO does it a lot better, and that's just knowing if you've landed a kill in a game. So in Counter Strike, if you kill an enemy, you get this sound, and you just kind of know from that sound that the enemy's dead and you got that kill. Even if you didn't see it or if you're unsure, you know because of that sound. There is no sound for kills in this game. You have to basically look at the kill feed to see if you actually killed the enemy you shot. And I found myself a lot of times just like unaware that if I was actually doing any sort of damage to enemies or killing them. And that's why I kind of just gravitated toward the sniper, because I could see myself actually downing and killing these enemies. So it was really strange, and maybe there's an option for that, but I didn't see any sort of options. It's the typical Valve option setting system that they have, and so there wasn't really much that I could do in terms of that. So that was another thing that was just a little bit bothersome, and kind of the reason why I gravitated toward the sniper, because although I did enjoy some of the other classes and I thought they were really cool and unique, like especially the cloaking spy guy was really cool, I just didn't feel like I was doing any sort of damage because I couldn't see myself getting kills. I also wasn't a big fan of the sound design in this game, and that was kind of surprising because I think Counter Strike has some of the best sound design in any game, especially for a competitive shooter. I think the sound is top notch, but this game really was confusing, and a lot of the times I just didn't understand what I was hearing. Like, I would hear something that I would think is right next to me, but it's happening like either below or above me on a different level or through a walls or something like that. So I just couldn't tell where things were happening, and a lot of times I would just get walked up on by an enemy and they would just hit me in the back and I couldn't hear them come up on me at all. Like, I just became paranoid at the end because I couldn't hear if there was an enemy behind me or not. So that was something that was just overall frustrating, and why I couldn't play this game in any sort of real competitive nature. But maybe it was just a bad luck of first time casual queues. Maybe there actually is game modes that I should be trying out instead of just going into the random ones, because I wanted that Overwatch feel of having these different heroes and working together with your team to actually complete a obtainable goal. but I didn't get that in the couple games that I played. So maybe it's just a matter of figuring out what the best game modes for that kind of environment are. So while overall I did enjoy the gameplay of this game, I really couldn't see myself getting into it seriously at all, just because of the just first time of not being able to actually get an objective or actually complete a game was just kind of demoralizing to me. So it's unfortunate, but it's how it goes sometimes. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like if you did, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.